What's up, everyone? It's Anna, also known as That Star Wars Girl, and today I'm going to be talking about a kind of touchy topic. I was on a stream for Mike S. Miller over on Blacklist Universe for his campaign for Lone Star, which finished last night. So thank you to everyone that backed that helped support Mike, because Mike is awesome. But on the stream, we were just kind of talking after we had covered the main topic, and then Ethan, comic artist Post Secrets, Ethan Van Sciver, gave me a tip on this story, and I was just completely blown away by these awful acts that people have been doing, because if there's one thing I can't stand, it's when people hurt and abuse those that can't defend themselves. So the little girl that played Tony Stark's daughter Morgan in Avengers Endgame is being bullied. Her name is Lexi in real life. And so her mother is takes care of all the Instagram stuff. I'm assuming that it's her mother that really, deals with agents and everything. And Lexi, she's a very talented little girl, so it's lucky that she has that support system that she does. So I'm going to go read this article, and there's a video of Lexi talking about being bullied, and so we're going to watch that. Alright, so here is the video in the article that's up here on MovieWeb. Now, this video was posted onto Lexi's Instagram, and this is the title of the article. 7-year-old Avengers Endgame star asks fans to stop bullying her and her family. She's 7 years old, and people are bullying her for being in Avengers Endgame. Look at that face. What horrible person would bully this little child? Heck, what horrible person would bully any child just because they were in a movie about superheroes? Or why would you bully a child in general? 7-year-old actress Lexi Rabe has been a victim of bullying online and out in public. Rabe reported Tony Stark's daughter in Avengers Endgame and made Marvel Cinematic Universe fans from all over the world tear up with her "I love you 3000" line. On her personal Instagram account, which is run by her mother Jessica, the young actress posted a video where she is explaining her behavior out in public and stating that she is not perfect. This really is not something a 7-year-old should have to be doing. I 100% agree. She is a child. She is still learning. How dare people try to judge her for not being their standard of perfect? She is a 7-year-old child. What the hell is wrong with you? Jessica Rabe does not go into any specific instances of the bullying in her lengthy message posted at the bottom of Lexi's video. She insinuates that people have treated them badly in public, possibly for not stopping to give autographs. She also insinuates Alexandria Rachel Rabe is starting to become self-conscious. Alexandra is Lexi's full name then. Self-conscious in public due to this bullying. Well, of course, if a child, a 7-year-old child, is being harassed by people that see her on the street, like get in a 7-year-old child's face asking for autographs. Heck, my stepdaughter gets, uncomfortable when strangers come up to us just to ask for directions, or when we're at Disneyland and she's in a costume and people come up to her. It's scary for a little kid to have some grown stranger that they don't know come up to them and start speaking to them. Unless a kid knows you're a family member, unless a member of the family or somebody that a child trusts comes up to, or is introduced by a trusted adult, usually kids get pretty nervous around strange adults. That's normal, unless your child is insanely I shouldn't say insanely, but very, very outgoing. Usually little kids are timid, and they are taught at an early age stranger danger. So for you to come up and harass a little girl and get in her face and get angry at her for not stopping to give you your autograph because she's scared, what the hell is wrong with you? As for cyberbullying, it looks like Jessica and Lexi's followers have gone through a reported all of the negative comments, at least according to one fan who has been keeping track. That's good. Anyone who feels the need to bully a 7-year-old girl should really get themselves straightened out. I 100% agree. Some MCU fans are angry with her for things that are out of her control, like possible whitewashing of Ironheart. Tony Stark is a white man. Pepper Potts is a white woman. It makes sense that they have a white daughter, that they have a little girl that somewhat resembles Tony. And oh my god, whitewashing? Are you kidding me? She is their daughter. She is their biological daughter. They didn't go out and adopt a daughter. They had a daughter together. It is not uncommon for two adults that have children that resemble them. Heck, you can go look at anyone. I'm sure every single person on the face of the planet that knows their biological parents can say, hey, I have features from both of my parents because I'm 50% of both of them. And it makes sense for a casting director to go out and cast a child that resembles at least, one of the parents that they are going to be playing in a movie, that this is the biological father, this is the biological daughter. So for them to be giving a 7-year-old child shit on how she is whitewashing, why don't you take it up with the casting director, who I'm assuming is an adult? If you have a problem with them whitewashing Tony Stark, who we already know is a white man, and you want to get on the daughter's case when both of her parents are white, you really need to get your priorities in life straight. And why on earth, why would anyone ever think it is okay to bully a child? That just blows my freaking mind. Oh my goodness. Ugh, it's making me so angry. Which doesn't stop them from leaving offensive messages on her social media accounts. Whatever the case may be, it's good to know there are some fans out there helping Jessica Rabe to clean up her daughter's Instagram account. If fans are approaching a 7-year-old kid for an autograph, be polite even if she does not want to sign it. I agree. You probably are freaking her out. She's not used to this. Since Lexi Rabe's mother posted the video, fans have been coming out helping to report the bullying, which then deletes the comment. She also posted pictures of Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark, warning potential bullies to go somewhere else. Bullying on social media has caused some adult stars to leave the platform. Star Wars actress Kelly Marie Tran and Daisy Ridley deleted their accounts. Daisy Ridley did not delete her account due to bullying. She said that she didn't want her life on social media. She was not bullied off of Instagram. This is a blatant lie. This, so far, is the only thing that has gotten, this article has gotten wrong. Kelly Marie Tran claims to be bullied. I 100% believe she was bullied, because if you're on any form of social media, there are horrible people in the world that are, going to say awful things. I'm pretty sure Daisy was bullied as well, but that is not why she deleted her account, and you need to get your facts right. Deleted their accounts after the toxic fandom became too much. Imagine what the negativity can do to a kid who is only 7 years old. Elsewhere in her account, it seems she and her family are living pretty normal life, except for the red carpets and Hollywood sets. Well, she is an actress. I'm assuming that she wanted to be an actress. She's actually very good at such a young age, and I think that that's something that her parents obviously support. So red carpet events when you're in, big blockbuster movies like that are not uncommon. But yeah, think about it. How is this affecting a child? If you're going to go bully a little girl, she is just 7 years old. What kind of monster are you? She cannot defend herself. You want to say that as an adult, you go up to another adult, maybe you have some issues with them, maybe you don't like them. Just be a freaking grown-up. Have a conversation with them. Be like, hey, you know what? Maybe it's an actor or actress that you see that you don't like. Hey, you know what? I kind of, I don't know why you would say that. Why would you stop to have this conversation? But maybe you really like them and they just didn't do good in a movie. Be like, hey, kind of constructive criticism. Maybe be like, hey, I really liked you in this movie. This movie, maybe just, I don't know. Why on earth would you stop a famous person on the street just to tell them, how much you don't like them, or how much you don't like their stuff, or how you're offended by, them being a certain race in the movie? I mean, you don't get to choose how you're, the way you look when you're born. You don't get to choose that. You live with cards you were dealt. So I don't understand why anyone would be upset at a child for not giving them an autograph. Heck, she's 7 years old. She's, probably in first grade, kindergarten. She's still learning how to write, for God's sake. Like, give this little girl a break. Oh my gosh. And in addition to Avengers Endgame, Lexi Rabe also starred in this year's Godzilla King of the Monsters, which means she was in 2 movies that were in the top 10 box office at the same time. As of this, writing Endgame is currently the 2nd highest grossing movie of all time. I believe it passed Avatar now. And is getting close to taking down James Cameron Avatar as the highest grossing movie of all time. Well, I do believe it did beat it. Rabe has accomplished a lot more before the age of 8 than most people accomplish in their whole lives. Yeah, good for her. All of those bullies can go suck it. You can check out her bullying post thanks to Lexi's Rabe's Instagram account. Okay, so we're going to watch this. I have not watched it yet. It's probably going to be heartbreaking. Okay, let's...
Hi, I'm Lexi Rabe, and
let's pause this so I can get my volume up.
7 years old, and I mess up sometimes. So, my mom and dad give me tons of talking tos and timeouts.
What?
And if I go anywhere and I'm acting a little silly or
you're 7!
messed up or anything like that,
oh my God.
I'm just 7 years old.
Exactly.
Please don't bully my family. Or me. Bye. Love you, 3000.
Oh my God. Please don't bully me or my family. A child should not have to be making this. A 7-year-old should not have to be making this. This little girl is 7. She is only 7. And she is getting judged by the way that she acts when strangers come up to her and want her autographed. People are bullying her because she's not the correct skin tone that they want, that they are going to put that on a child for something that a decision a casting director made years and years ago before she was even born, because that is when the first Iron Man movie came out. She wasn't even born when they casted Tony Stark. So for them to go up to her and get in her face and want an autograph, and for a little girl that's scared because a stranger is coming up to her, and maybe she's in a rush, maybe they're trying to get somewhere, maybe she's 7 years old and she's not feeling it today. Guess what? She is 7 fucking years old. She is a child. For somebody to bully her and harass her and judge her, for somebody to go onto her social media platform and say awful things to a child. What the hell is wrong with you? How do you sleep at night? And this, it's just... People nowadays have no concept of what it means to, have responsibility or, to act appropriately in front of children. For this little girl to have to be aware of this at this early, in her life, I mean, I'm glad that she has a mother that is willing to defend her and is willing to fight people that say awful things to her. Because again, she is only 7 years old. She is only 7. And for people to put this kind of hate and anger and, just petty bitterness to a child and try to hold a child up to the standards of their ridiculous expectations in this society, that is just straight up wrong. And one of the big problems with people nowadays is that they have no concept of what it is to be responsible. Because people nowadays, at least younger generations, are not having children like they used to. Heck, the average age for a woman to have a child now is between 30 and 32. People just don't, and it's all because in this culture, people are very, very selfish. They're more excited about the next rave that they're going to, about the next party, about the next, trendy event. Where's the next, Instagram pop-up spot so we can go take a picture and post our selfie on Instagram. That is what people care about nowadays. They don't care at all about, the responsibilities in life. And that is why the world is going to shit. Because people care more about their social media standings and what they say online and, how many followers they have than actually being responsible. My mother had my brother when she was 19 years old, and then she didn't have me until she was 36 years old. That had to do with, age gaps and, in between marriages. But still, the average age that in my mother's generation that they were having babies was in their late teens, early 20s. And that was the norm. My grandmother had all of her children when she was a teenager. And it was normal for people back in the day to have babies at an early age. And guess what? They learned responsibility. My mother, at 19 years old, was more responsible than most people I know that are in their 30s. And people don't understand what it is like to be around children, how to, make sure you don't say certain things in front of children, because it's very true. Children absorb things like a sponge. And for this little girl to get this level of bullying and harassment at 7 years old, this is going to affect her for the rest of her life. If there's one thing I cannot stand, it is people that hurt and humiliate people that cannot defend themselves. And children fall under that category. And when you go as an adult and harass and say hurtful things to a child, this is a child you are talking to, not a full-grown adult that can hold their own against you. This is a child that only knows the things that her parents have taught her, and even then, they don't know everything yet. They are still learning. That is why they're going to school. That is why they are still growing up. She is a child. And for people to do this to a child, it disgusts me to my very core. And there's a special place in hell for people like this. For people that go and harass children that have done nothing wrong. She is a child. And yes, children do not always behave exactly how you want them to, because they are fucking children. And if you've ever been around a child, if you've ever had a child, you would know that. I have a stepdaughter. And I love that little girl more than anything in the entire world. And she's not even mine. She is 8 years old. And if anyone were to come up to my stepdaughter and to say hurtful things to her, you are not her teacher. You are not her parent. You are not her grandparent. You are not even her friend. You are a stranger. You have no right to go up to a child and start to bully them and start to harass them and start to say things to them that you feel are justified, because guess what? That is not your child. You have no say in their life. So get a grip on reality. Understand that things that you say to a child is something that could stick with them for the rest of their life. You think this little girl is ever going to forget the day that she had to go into her bathroom and hold on to her Pikachu stuffed animal and film a video asking people to not bully her and her family? No! This is something she is going to remember for the rest of her life. Lexi is always going to have to live with this. And then to follow up with the I love you 3000, so that way people understand and can connect on some level, because when you hear that line in Avengers Endgame, it hits you and it connects with you. So to have her in that, to remind you that, to not be full of hate and resentment, but to still be full of love, that just shows that she's such a beautiful soul. And Lexi did not deserve that, and she will never deserve that. No child deserves to be treated that way. I don't care if they're a celebrity or not. They are all children. How dare you harass and bully a child? Anyone that does that can just go straight to hell, because you are an awful human being, and you need to learn respect. And it doesn't matter that she's not an adult. Children still deserve respect. And it blows my mind that there are awful people like this in the world. How dare you? Lexi, I am so, so sorry. And I mean it when I say this. but you don't deserve this, and all of us are here for you. And I mean, we love you a lot more than 3,000, girl. So you keep doing you, and you keep fighting, Lexi. And, you know, you have the whole world in front of you. So don't forget that, and don't let awful, horrible people that are so unhappy in their own lives get under your skin. Because people that say hurtful things to you, it's because they are unhappy with themselves and unhappy in their own lives, and it is not your fault. So never ever take the things that they say to heart, because you are so much bigger and better, and you are going so many more places in the future. So Lexi, I stand with you, and I'm sure that everyone else that watches this will stand with you too. So with that being said, love you, Lexi, and love you a lot more than 3,000. So may the force be with you, because you and me and everyone else are really gonna need it, because these people are freaking crazy.